Hello everybody, today I'm taking you on another driving tour through the older, more established neighborhoods here in beautiful Sedona, Arizona. I am starting in the village of Oak Creek and headed north on the 179, and I'm going to take you in through some of the little fingers that are on the east side of the 179 going into the neighborhoods in an area we sometimes call Little Horse Park. Now this is not a sightseeing neighborhood, this is more of an idea of what the neighborhoods look like in case you're thinking of maybe relocating to Sedona in a couple of years, or perhaps buying a vacation home or retiring here in a couple of years. So buckle up, get in the car with me, and we're going to take a drive through northern part of Arizona on the 179. All right, I am entering the 179 headed north from the Cortez roundabout. And the tour we're doing today is going to be an area that we sometimes call Little Horse Park. And what it is heading north on the 179. It's a couple little fingers that go out into these little subdivisions on the east side of the 179. So if you've ever been driving through Sedona and you're like, oh, I wonder what these little neighborhoods are like, that's why we're touring through them today. This is not a sightseeing video. This is more of a chance to get to know the neighborhoods and some of these smaller neighborhoods that aren't as populated without you having to drive through, so you can decide, if I'm ever moving to Sedona or retiring to Sedona, what do the neighborhoods look like? What are the homes selling for? And that kind of thing. Now, I just passed on the left the Oak Creek Golf Course, very nice golf course. We have several of them here in Sedona, and I am about to pass the Colt Grill on the right. I love eating at the Colt Grill and the Ace Hardware. So this just gives you an idea of how small Village of Oak Creek is, but there are some very nice homes in this area. Now, when I pass the Circle K at this roundabout, that's kind of like the last stop of Village of Oak Creek. And again, Village of Oak Creek being the unincorporated area of Sedona. We do have a Sedona address, but we are outside of the city limits, so we are protected by Yavapai County Sheriff and Fire Department. So I am now kind of headed out of town. We are about to pass the Bell Rock Trailhead on the right. Now the Bell Rock Trailhead is very nice. It's actually not very challenging for if you're just a new hiker, but also there are lots of little fingers that you could go many different directions and get different challenges. And also I could say the trail does wind up the side of the Bell Rock. If you're an advanced hiker, I don't want to say it's not challenging, because you could take that sideways trail up Bell Rock if you're advanced. And if you are not a novice but not super in shape like me, the Bell Rock Trail is nice. As you can see, there is an incline going, but it's not that strenuous of an incline. So I'm going to give you a little bit more information of the neighborhoods that we're going to drive through today. I'm going to take you into three neighborhoods. The first is going to be the Chapel Bells neighborhood, and there's like Chapel Bells, Chapel Hills. I'm going to take you through there first, which is the neighborhood that's very close to the Chapel of the Holy Cross. In fact, some of the homes in the neighborhood you could actually see from some of the homes. From some of the homes in the neighborhood, you can actually see the chapel, which is very nice. So I am about to turn on Meadow Lark right now. We're going to go into Chapel Bells so you can get an idea of what the homes look like. Now we're going past the Temple Torah right now and into the neighborhoods. Now, as you can see already, we have a beautiful view of the praying nuns. So again, there's not a lot of sales going on in these neighborhoods right now. There are 4 homes for sale. I'm going to tell you a little bit about those. I'm going to tell you about the age. Now, you could see this gray one on the corner. This is actually a brand new build. It's a very large home. It's not totally finished on the inside. So a 2024 build. Most of these are built in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, but there are a few of them, like you can see the one we're passing, that is more recent, and lots that have been vacant. People will come in and they will buy the lot and build a custom home on it, or sometimes builders will come in and put up a spec home. So you'll see some of these that are very new, but a lot of them are older. In fact, the 4 homes for sale in the neighborhood right now were built in 1974, 1982, 1983. So older. Now this one on the left that we are just passing, I actually have this listed. This just went up for sale. That is a beautiful home here in the Chapel area, Chapel Hills. It's listed for just under $1.4 million, and it's about 2,200 square feet. It has been done up very nicely inside. It's got a fenced-in yard, and it has also a view in some of the areas inside the home. You could see the chapel, which is actually very attractive. And then in the wintertime, from the front window, you could see Cathedral Rock, which is very nice. Of course, in the summer, the trees have leaves on them, so you can't see it, but I'm going to pass it again. Again, I have this one listed, so if you have any interest in finding out more about the home, or if you'd like to see it, that's the one right there on the right. You can give me a call, text, or an email. My contact information is always in the description below. And while I am on that, my name is Dawn Dickenson. I am a realtor in Northern Arizona. I sell primarily in Sedona and Verde Valley, but also sometimes in Flagstaff and Prescott. So if you ever are interested in talking about buying or selling a home in Northern Arizona, give me a call, text, or an email, and I will get back to you. Okay, so I'm continuing to drive through this neighborhood. There are 4 homes for sale right now. They are ranging from $875,000. Now that one was built in 1974. It's one of the smaller ones, 1,800 square feet. It does look very dated, so you would have to do some updates. But for instance, if you would buy that home for $875,000, put a couple $100,000 into it, you could really add value. The most expensive home in that area is going for $1.5 million right now. Price per square foot, you have $449 is the lowest price per square foot. The most expensive is $608 per square foot, which is about right for the neighborhood. Now, one of the things that makes this neighborhood very popular is it allows short-term rentals. So if you're thinking, I'm going to be a snowbird and I'm going to come to Sedona from, say, October to April, you could short-term rent it out in the months that you are not in town. So that's the one thing that makes it attractive. And where we're going next is I'm going to take you up the Chapel Road so you can see the little neighborhood going into the Chapel of Holy Cross. And then I'm going to let you see the chapel from my windshield. That actually is an amazing piece of architecture that if you've not been to the chapel and done a tour, I do recommend that if you are in Sedona. But this neighborhood, again, is very nice. Now, this is kind of a busier road going into the chapel. There are some homes for sale. Actually, homes here might be considered in Mystic Hills, which is where we're going to next. But I want you to see these homes here. Now you get a lot of bigger vehicles going into here. There are some trails, some places to park on the side by the trails. But a lot of these homes are, again, a little bit older, built in the 70s and 80s. But you'll have some newer ones that a person has come and put their custom home on a vacant lot over the years. Or you may have a contractor that bought a lot and put up a spec home. So a lot of the homes in here are 1970s, 1980s, 1990s. Now, again, as we get closer to the chapel, look at this enormous house here on the right. When I first started coming to Sedona, I'm like, is that a hotel? But it actually is a home, and I am going to turn into the neighborhood. You could see the chapel a little bit from the left on my windshield. Now I'm going to turn in here just long enough to do a little drive up one of the streets behind the chapel that has some beautiful homes. Now, a couple of years ago, there was a house for sale in this neighborhood that I'm about to turn into, and it was like a madhouse when the agent had an open house. So many people in there, multiple offers, just because, again, this is a popular area that does allow short-term rentals. You can see now the Praying Nuns rock formation in the front. But the one disadvantage, I would say, as you are getting towards the end of this road is back against your back wall, you kind of have the parking lot and that road going into the chapel. So you could get some noise if you had a house on the very left side of this road right here. But again, a very nice, older, established neighborhood here with beautiful trees and beautiful views. And again, some of these houses, you can see the chapel from inside the home. But I am turning around here and I'm going to head out now. And the next thing we're going to do is go into the Mystic Hills neighborhood. Some of the houses for sale on Chapel Road might be considered Mystic Hills. So when I give you some of the stats on the homes for sale, it could include homes for sale on this road. And before I leave, I'm going to just turn my windshield a little bit so you could see the chapel. There it is on the right upper corner. Again, such an amazing architecture. I do have a video about the chapel on this channel. I will try to put a link to it at the end so you can get an idea of what the chapel is like. Okay, so now I've cut. I am going north again on the 179. Now you can see I recorded this video in September, the driving part early September, and then about 2 weeks later I'm doing the voiceover right now. So the weather in Sedona is beautiful this time of year. It's going to be 80 degrees for the high, and the overnight low is 56 degrees. So but this gives you an idea of what the traffic might be like in September. And I am going to now turn into the Mystic Hills neighborhood. So there are a couple of things I want you to know about Mystic Hills. Mystic Hills does have an HOA. The Chapel Bells and Chapel Hills area does not have an HOA. Look at that beautiful water feature as you drive in. So the one thing about the HOA for Mystic Hills that's nice is there are a few amenities, like you could see as we are passing on the left. There's a tennis court and there's a little, I think there might be a clubhouse here. So you have amenities that you don't have in some of the other neighborhoods. Now, Mystic Hills does have big, beautiful custom homes all throughout. Most of the homes for sale are bigger. Now, you can see as we're driving into the neighborhood, there still are quite a few empty lots for sale if you wanted to build your dream home. A little bit challenging, though, because this area is a little bit rocky, and you do have a lot of slopey lots, so might cost you more in excavating. Now, the homes in this neighborhood right now currently are for sale for $1.26 million. Is the least expensive one, and the most expensive one is $2.95 million. You've got houses, they're bigger. The smallest one for sale in the neighborhood is 2,600 square feet, and the largest one is 5,800 square feet. That is an enormous size, honestly, 5,800 square feet. But the houses here are bigger. Now, the price per square foot also a little bit high. The least expensive one is about $398, so that's for one of the older homes that needs updating. There's one $416 square foot, one at $946 a square foot, and one at $1,100 a square foot. That would be that large, one of the large, beautiful homes in there. And the homes in there built 1993, 96, 2004, 2014. Okay, so now I am back going north again on the 179, and I'm going to take you in our final neighborhood, which we sometimes called Broken Arrow, but it is the neighborhood that goes north on Morgan. So this is the last little finger I'm going to take you up, and what's nice, this is another quiet little subdivision, kind of a finger off of the 179, and you don't need to go driving through there now because I'm taking you through here now. Again, a popular area because there are some short-term rentals allowed in the area. You would want to verify if you were looking at a house. Right now, today, there were a couple of construction cars that I got behind, but typically there's not a lot of traffic on this neighborhood now. A lot of the homes built 1976, 1977, 1977. There is a very low-priced home in here for sale for $699,000 that is pending. That one looks very 1970s. It has the gold carpet and the gold metallic wallpaper flowers, so that one would need a lot of work, but it would look really good. If you had somebody wanting to fix it up, you could add quite a bit of value. Two others have recently sold in this neighborhood, one for $1.425 million. That's going to be the one at the very end. When I'm going to turn around, you kind of see that one. Another one sold for $1.85 million. And some of these are going for the very inexpensive one that needs tons of work with the metallic gold wallpaper and the dark paneling. That one went for $331,000. $171 a square foot. That's very unusual to find something at that price per square foot. The other two went for $613 a square foot and $841 a square foot. And I am about to show you that one that went for $1.25 million right here. That one just sold. So that's about what they cost in this neighborhood. So I hope you enjoyed my neighborhood tour of the 179 Fingers. My name is Dawn Dickenson. I am a real estate agent in Sedona, Arizona. If you ever have a question, give me a call, email, text, and I would love to talk to you about buying or selling a home. The channel is Living in Northern Arizona. I post videos every single week, so if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and come back to here to see me again next week.